coffee. Again, just waiting now. And yes, this really is Forsaken. It's not NFL Street. I streamed NFL Street yesterday. I thought I had updated the title in the game I was playing. Totally didn't take. Kept broadcasting to the N64 community and everything. I do that by accident a lot. You thinking that they're gonna like kick me out or not let me broadcast to that anymore? I don't know if it makes a difference, but make sure I'm live. All right. So we're back. It's time for part 2 of Forsaken. This really is going to be part 2 of 2. I was worried that I was going to have to like take on like every mission that's in this game, but realistically, it has a Star Fox type setup. I'll show you just real quick right here. Easy mode, or what you consider the easy mode or the standard level missions, is the longest playthrough you can get out of it anyway. So I think in total there's 21 missions in this game, and the way that it's set up is it's really, really difficult for you to even make it through one set of the missions with your pool of lives. So the idea is that you're not going to have a very easy time doing any of it. You're going to have to try each set of missions several times before you make your way up to it. That's sort of the medium set, I think. And then over here on the right is, oh, fuck you. Yeah, nuke, and then it branches off into these 3. Nuke is always the first level. Just kind of get your bearings and kill everything. This one here, I think, is the longest set of levels anyway. It's like 10 or 11. And this is the mission that I'm on right now. Also, it's pretty much necessary to enter the all missions code and have that in there, because this game doesn't let you save until after the first like exclusively boss based mission, which is like 4 levels in, and that's really, really lame, especially because most of the time I feel like I'm not gonna make it that far on my one pool of lives. So I have the all missions thing set up, and then I kind of start from where I am with the five lives, which is the most it'll allow you to have. Yeah, okay, I got thrown off for a second because this has a really, really similar briefing to the one I just did. This is also basically mostly a boss mission, where the main thing is to beat the shit out of the main enemy, not necessarily even kill him, but beat the shit out of him and activate the homing beacon that will kind of take you out of the level. And then be able to survive for a while don't die before you actually can survive the time limit that you need to beam your way out of the level. Fucking hell, there's already a lot of enemies here. That's good. That's exactly what I need, actually, is the power pod. Those are actually bombs. Those look like power-ups. Fuck, I'm really not off to a good start in this level. It's a little bit confusing, right? See, because they look just like these, almost like these power-ups, the weapon energy power-ups. Cool. I am going to go through and get everything. And then, what even is the boss? Actually, fucking Transpulse. Transpulse is actually a great main weapon. It has one issue though, which is that it actually pushes you back. So if you fire it the whole time, you'll actually kind of push yourself against the wall and possibly out of the room that you're in. It's very, very frustrating. Ooh, that's a power. Fuck. I'm still not the greatest with the moving around controls. I feel like there's definitely a point you have to work at it a long time. Okay, that's the boss, and he's dropping mines everywhere. That's what it is. It's just there's so much going on in that first room, both in the sense that there's a bunch of turrets I had to destroy. Oh, there it is. Fuck you, buddy. Oh, Jesus, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna lose a life right now. but that's okay, honestly. Not just because I've made it easy on myself, and I kind of had that. I'm gonna get my bearings life and set that all up. Luckily, when you die, your power-ups just kind of get scattered, kind of like in like Dark Souls. So all you really have to do is just go back to where you died and grab them. Yeah, I made a Dark Souls reference. I'm fucking terrible at. What are these? Are these his mines? Or are they my actual power-ups? That's the shittiest thing that they could actually do to me, is have the boss drop mines that look just like they'd be power-ups. And also, the fact that he doesn't really pay attention to me. So most cases you'd have a boss who's just kind of standing there. Or not standing there, but moving in a way that like doesn't make it difficult for you to target. Like, it's weird. How do I put this? Like when you're engaged with an enemy, like actively engaged with them, the way that they move, even if they're dodging you in a way, you at least expect that their movements are going to be. You have a way of expecting their movements, but when they're just kind of like passively going away from you and you don't have the easiest aiming method, it's almost like confusing to have them just kind of move away from you, because you have to set yourself, and then you only have so much time once you've set yourself to start hitting them. It's like the weirdest feeling. Like, I'm trying to chase him. I have to chase him at a very specific angle so that I don't get literally every bomb he drops in my teeth, basically. Which is not going to happen. I'm still going to get fucked up. But I'm actually kind of outrunning the bombs as far as them detonating, which is good. I've also got a bunch of fucking... Oh, that I just ran out. I had a bunch of secondary weapons, which is good. And awesome. Beacon activated. I just have to go. Yep, there it is. And I guess the whole idea is all I have to do is survive. Oh, and once the beacon's activated, he's gonna actively... Nope, that's not even him. It's just his fucking cronies. Oh shit, they're really on top of me. I'm gonna go out this way. Go in my fucking little tunnels here. You can't get me if I'm in the tunnels. That's the way I see it. This is really just practicing like invasive maneuvering. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna lose another life before I get out of this. Oh, there's so many of them. There's so many of them, and it's so crowded. Oh shit. Come on, we're almost there. We're almost there. No! God damn it. I almost made it. I almost made it. Something about the enemies in this game that I really want to point out. They're fucking smart. I was actually thinking about it a lot because I watched Glenn Plant's video on Forsaken, and he played it on PC and you know, played similar games and everything, and he complimented the AI a lot. I have to acknowledge how good the AI is in this game too. You know, it's not perfect. It's not like modern like shooter AI where they're gonna take cover and they're gonna do all sorts of crazy shit, but it's a lot better than you expect from a game of this type. Because I keep inevitably comparing it, because it feels like this. I keep inevitably comparing it to Doom and Quake and all the other first-person shooters I played. Even though it's a different kind of first-person shooter, it still is a first-person shooter, and that's what I keep thinking of it as. It's just a Quake with an extra degree of movement, basically. Destroyed. Yes, that's all right. Okay. This is one of the seek and destroy missions. But the enemies, they have a good like group mentality on them, which I really appreciate. When they're in a group, they know not to let up on you. They're a lot better at dodging, kind of like this. They don't. I mean, these guys are kind of like chumps. Oh shit! Is this the idea of this level? Is that this thing, this spawn carrier unit, is gonna keep I'm also, this is like the worst fucking way to start the level. Okay. Keep an eye on that enemy count thing, because usually the enemy count is how many kills you've gotten, unless the objective is to eliminate all the enemies. This is clearly not the case. It said eliminate the SCU, which is a different thing. Cool, I got that guy. But the number one thing that I notice about the enemies that it makes this game so difficult, and it's actually a really good stroke of programming, I think, or however the hell you want to define it, as far as what it's supposed to be. When you need to keep your distance from enemies, which is really, really difficult to do, because a lot of times what you think you want to do is get up in their faces and just bombard them before they can do too much damage to you. And that is the worst thing that you can do, because not only do they explode in this big violent explosion, which does damage to you, you know, even if you just destroyed the enemy, their violent death will cause damage to your ship, which is very bad. But they have the wherewithal, basically, to dive bomb you if they know they're gonna get killed. So if you're a reasonable, like, say a reasonable distance away from an enemy, that they wouldn't just get you with the splash damage, and you manage to hit them with your last blow, they're gonna crash to the ground, but they're gonna go in your direction, and that can really fuck you up. And I gotta give props for that. I think that's a really good bit of AI there that you wouldn't really see from. What the fuck is going on, by the way? I don't know what this is. But yeah, I think that's really clever. I don't really see that in a lot of the games that I've played so far. That type of situational awareness on the enemies. Even if you would get it pretty. Oh, there's openings there. Yeah, it's just something that I don't expect to see from this era. So I thought it was pretty cool to see it. Another thing, I really like the music in this game. It's like, when I think of Acclaim, the first thing that comes to mind is not the fact that they would put a whole lot of effort into the music. And even, like, Probe, I think, yeah, I wouldn't even say that Probe has a whole lot of integrity when it comes to music. See that guy? See what he just did right there? That was really fucking nuts to me. That you see it in a game that's this old. That he was like juking just like ever so slightly out of the way of where I was going to be shooting at him. That's not something that you see, I don't think anyway, from a lot of shooters at this time. I actually give props to that. It pisses you off, but when you think about it, it's not something that you would expect. I gotta say, I don't really think it's as prevalent on this one, because this track seems a little bit minimalist, which is fair. It's you know, not every level has to be like blowing you away with all the complexity of the soundtrack, but yeah, I definitely have noticed that, if nothing else, the soundtrack is definitely. Wow, I had no ammo left. I had no weapon energy. This might be my last life, so I might actually get killed right here. Power pod is what I need. The power pod is probably my favorite power up to pick up, because it turns you from fucking pea shooter into something that can actually do a reasonable amount of damage with this faster rate of fire. Holy shit, where are they coming from? Is this fucking spawn carrying it? Is that what that means? I'm trying to figure out, like, what makes this level specific, what makes this level in particular different from the last two that I've played, beyond the whole beacon setup thing. Because, oh, I have no more shield left. That's not good. Cool. I don't have that many enemies left, though, so that's not bad. But yeah, this whole like the techno soundtrack is actually not bad. I think it's actually really really good for this game. And in a lot of other levels, especially the more active ones, the complexity really comes through, and I don't know. I don't think like the melodies are really blowing me away like they do in like, you know, most Nintendo games or something like that. But it really fits the setting. I think part of why this one is so like more like ambient as opposed to some of the other ones like that are like energetic is because of the whole underwater thing. I don't know why that necessarily is supposed to change it, but going with more of an underwater feel, more ambient, I guess. I've been complimenting this game a lot, and the one thing I actually have to say, as far as actually playing it, there's so much that this game really does that's really really good. Oh man, I'm gonna get my ass kicked when I find the rest of these 9 enemies. I can feel it. There you are, you motherfucker. Once I find him and kill him, I'll finish my thought. But he got way out of the way. What the fuck? See, this guy's fucking zippy. Finally got him. There are some missions in this game. As much as I've had some good things to say about it, I think it looks great too. I think the graphics are great. I think the music is great. There's a lot of stuff that this game does. That's it. Fuck it. Alright, I'm gonna start over. I'm actually gonna start that level over and see if I can make it to the end. This is why you have to have the all missions code put in and have your save file have it on there, because you're really gonna struggle a lot. It's sort of like, it's just like Quake in the sense that, like, man, I really don't have the, like, you need to have the skill and the time to be able to hone your abilities up to the point that you can just go through levels without losing lives. But the thing about this, and part of the reason why I'm like, oh good, I don't have to play all 21 missions, there's really a sense of, you finish this game if you just, see that was right there, that was way too close to those fucking guys. Took a big chunk out of my shields. It's not, most of this game is not that exciting. I think some of the boss fights are cool. But when it's kinda, I'll say when it's kinda like this still doesn't really, because there's a lot of enemies in it. But if you put this side by side next to, say, Quake, which I thought was, you know, really excellent, it just has, it can be tough to play that game too, because it's so trying to get you turned around and everything. That's what Quake spends a lot of its time doing. It's not the most exciting game all the way through it. I think there are parts of it that really do come off as a little bit tedious. There's a couple missions that are basically just like this, where it's eliminate every enemy, and I appreciate the mission variety, but I think the just go to the next room and shoot all the enemies isn't the most exciting thing to me. I think that's part of why I like GoldenEye so much, and why I still think GoldenEye holds up, is because the missions are so interesting and unique, and everything always changes all the time. And it doesn't have to rely on set pieces and the story of it to seem like the most exciting game you've ever played. It does that through its gameplay. This game, it changes up the missions a little bit, but not enough to be on like GoldenEye's level, which isn't, you know, how are you going to compare something to GoldenEye? It honestly is really tough to describe this well, why I think it well. I've been complimenting it the whole time, but understand that. What that weapon does. Okay. I think it's if you just look at it with all the first-person shooters, I think all the first-person shooters can kind of do that. If they're just about getting to the end of the level and killing all the enemies, then they really lose something at the very least in comparison to, you know, the real greats of this system, which is like GoldenEye and some of the more bigger scope adventure games. I think this game is a lot of fun, and I'll bet you that the multiplayer on it is really fun too. And technically, this game is really impressive, but I don't think it's gonna hold up if I put it next to. It's definitely not gonna hold up to GoldenEye. But that being said, I don't want people to think that this is not a good game, because it really is. It's just I have this thing about the N64. I think this is an appropriate time to bring it up. The N64, if you look at it a couple years ago, like right when I was starting to think, oh, maybe I'll, you know, get this full set and everything going, I'm gonna die, and I just want my fucking weapons recharged. That's the main thing. Oh, there it is. Alright, well, I guess I got my weapons recharged, and now I'm gonna die. So, fuck that. But I think I respawned, like, right here, so... Hey! Okay, so I didn't have any weapon energy last time I picked that up, that's why. And now I'm getting fucking ambushed, Jesus. A couple years ago, if you looked at bargain bins for the N64, like this, I'm talking like 5 years ago. There were some games that definitely, like, you'd see in there that weren't just sports games. There were some bargain bin ass games, and I think this was one of them. If I recall, maybe not as immediate that you think of. You don't really think of it as immediately as you do. I always say Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible, even to this day, is basically a bargain bin game, which is nuts to me. And I'll bring that up when I play Mission Impossible again, how crazy it is to me that Mission Impossible ever became a bargain bin game. But the ones that I usually think of as the bargain bin games from a couple years ago was this Body Harvest, Mission Impossible. Maybe I have to kill all the enemies to like kind of get the whatever it's called, the carrier thing. Maybe I have to do that to get him to come out. But anyway, this game would kind of be in there with your Tony Hawk 1s, your Mission Impossible, your Body Harvest, because yeah, Body Harvest was definitely in bargain bins. Mission Impossible, your Tony Hawk 1, Tony Hawk 2, I remember a couple years ago. Body Harvest was one. Fighter's Destiny was one. I think Fighter's Destiny, if anybody's watching my video, I think Fighter's Destiny is great. This is one of the games. It goes in with those games, and I think that it's a lot better than you expect if you remember what things were like a couple years ago when you'd see this game in bargain bins. And it hasn't really gone up in price a lot. It's still maybe a $10 game tops. But if you're looking for those under $15 games, this is definitely one that you'll find, and definitely one that is worth picking up. But don't have your expectations too high, as if it's a hidden gem that's on the same level as the greats. I think that's mostly what I was trying to get across, and it's so difficult to really say what I'm trying to say about this game, because I really do like it. But I think part of it is even the fact that I'm a little bit tired from first-person shooters right now. Because goddamn, I've played... What have I played so far? There's so many first-person shooters on the N64. And I've played a lot of them already because they really stack up in the early year and a half of the system. Like, I played Doom, Hexen, Quake, Turok, GoldenEye. I've played all those already, and now I'm playing a game that's not quite a first-person shooter in the same sense, but it's another first-person shooter, and maybe that's part of why I'm complimenting it for what it does better, but I'm not terribly excited by it as far as the gameplay goes, because in the gameplay department, the only thing it does differently is this, the way that it controls and the way it moves. Other than that, it just feels like Quake to me, which is a huge compliment, but not something I'm too excited about. But I'm really glad that I've played it now, because I'm glad that it's something I can recommend. I will absolutely recommend this to so many people that might not expect much from it. I feel like I've contradicted myself so many times with this game already, but I really hope that it's something that, like, someone might understand what I've been trying to say about it. This is actually kind of the thing that these games do that make me a little bit frustrated with it, is I supposedly have 3 enemies left. I'm supposed to have some big boss guy to take out, and I have no idea what that is. I have no idea where I'm going. I like the pulsar better, especially when I have the power pod. Power pod is what it's called. Okay. Nope, that's a tower, not an enemy. Oh, so I have to, like, it's a seek and find thing. Like, I'm not supposed to know where it is or be able to come up on it too easily. So, what am I looking for? It doesn't help that everything's tinged green either. I feel like that's part of the trouble. I start shooting at like random spots on the map that it seems like they would put this shit at. Like corners and dead ends and whatever. That really is the problem, like I have no idea what I'm looking for. Hey, there's some shit. This might be it. This might be the room at least. Take out 3 enemies. That's alright. I'm actually almost in the clear as far as like regular enemies go. Why is this guy get in the path of my fucking bullets? Aha! And the enemy count is starting to go up. It's exactly what I thought was going to happen. God, this guy's pissing me off. Try and kill this guy. Yep, enemy count's going up. I found the bioweapon. Fucking Star Fox quotes up in here. Oh yeah, this thing is just spawning enemies, isn't it? I'm gonna get my ass fucked up. I have 1 more life left. I hope that I can find that again. I don't have the Nintendo power that goes with this, which is really frustrating because I would really, really hope that this is something that they talk about. Here. Fuck. Backing up. Backing up. Backing up. Go away. Alright, we're down to 4. Yeah, up to 5. I need to get in here and get my fucking power pod. I'm just gonna be... Power pod, there we go. There it is. Shields. Only a tiny bit. And now, oh my god, what is this? I legit have no idea what I'm doing. They're fucking me up so bad right now. Yep, that's it. Alright, I have no idea what I'm actually supposed to do at the end of that mission. That's a thing. I'm kind of glad that I don't know, because it means I have to do something different than just kill everything. So it kind of contradicts a little bit of what I was saying, that I got a little bit tedious. It's also not great when you don't necessarily know what you're supposed to do once you find the big thing in the end of the level. Especially when the whole level is tinged green. That's really frustrating, but still not that big of a deal. I still like this game. I definitely recommend it. I basically have that level right there, and then like one more level after that, which is supposed to be like the easy mode boss, kind of like facing fake Andross and Star Fox. Like yeah, you beat the game, but you didn't do shit. But that's your kind of like novice level, end of the game satisfaction. Cool. That's all set. I'm good with this as soon as I beat that last mission. Next is not a game that I'm really looking forward to, because I still hate that it exists. And it's Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. I bet people have been waiting for that. That's something that people actually want to see, so that they can see what that game is. I tell you right now, I don't like it. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you later.